so today we are working on Sequoia again, but we got some Bilsteins 5100s, and we're gonna level out the Sequoia so it's even front to back, because right now it has this weird front rake that comes from factory so you can carry load, but I have bags in the rear so I don't worry about that, and it looks better. So let's get started, and we're going to be doing the axles, because while we have the ball joint out, we're going to replace the ball joint. We can pull out the axle. It'll be so much easier to do everything at once. So let's go. First things first, we're going to break these top hat bolts loose. I've been spraying it over the week with PB Blaster, so it's easy to come off. So just one here, one all the way in the back. It's dark, but it's right there. Top hat is loose. I just broke all the bolts loose. Now what we're going to do is get all the sensors out of the way. So we're gonna loosen this one, and one holding the brake line, and then there's an ABS sensor right here that you can just pull out, and then all the lines should be out of the way. And we're gonna leave the bolt on for now. We're gonna work down here. So now we want to take off the ball joint right here, and there's a cotter pin holding it in. Slide it out, and you can loosen this big nut here. And if you're keeping the ball joint, and I recommend placing it if it's old, you can loosen this 4 bolts, one here to the other side, and it will separate it from the spindle. But I'm replacing this whole ball joint as well, so I'm going to take it off from here and there, but we're going to break this one first. Now this bolt's loose and those 4 bolts are loose. Now you can see it comes off, but we have to, since we're doing the axle, we're going to do that first. Actually, we're gonna take the strut out first, because I think that's gonna be a lot easier and give us room to pull the axle out. So let's take the strut out, loosen this bottom bolt, and then take out the top all the way, and this should slide out. Bottom nut is out. Now finally, let's take out the top, and it should drop, so let's do that. Once you loosen the top bolts, I got a pry bar. I wish I filmed it. Just popped it out, and it just fell. I didn't know Toyota comes with spherical bushing like these. That's pretty interesting. I doubt these are factory, because they should be rubber. So that was easy. Now we gotta take this apart, but first we gotta take the axle out. So we'll do that, and then we'll assemble the lift kit. I don't have the nuts, so we gotta find the right size. Okay, so we're actually replacing the tie rod too, because the boot's all messed up, especially on the other side. So I bought both. We're gonna take these out, take off the cotter pin, and it's a 19 on top. Just like that. All right, so to take the axle out, you need a 36-inch socket. To do the axle, you don't need to take out the strut. You do need to loosen the 4 bolts at the bottom, so you can pull the spindle out of the way to get the axle out. So I loosened it up. What you should do, put it in backwards, and then you gotta try hitting it lightly. Oh, see, it came out real easy. Look at that, no problem. And what you can do is just slide it out, but I have this on here. See that? It's sliding right out. And now I have the axle out. Try to yank the axle out, and it fell out of the cup. So I guess the axle wasn't even working. To take out the axle, it's pretty simple. You'll see the axle connected to the diff, which is right here.
This is the long side.
Yeah, so stick can you pull the axle out a little bit? There we go. You can, oh wait, hold on. You can stick a pry bar in there, and you can just pry it out, so. Hold on. Oh, and then once it pops out, spin a little bit. Let me get a, like this. It's getting harder to come out.
You need to break that ring.
There we go. Oh shit. Oh, man. Almost got on there.
Oh shit.
All right, so I got the new axle. Just gotta slide it in.
Slide through the hole.
All right. Hold on. Line up the splines. Okay. Get it in.
I don't know, you have to line the spline.
The hard part is lining up the splines because they move. All right, so after you slide that axle in, really easy. You just lift this up and then slide this part in. We're not gonna fully connect it, so we still gotta do the shock, and we're replacing the lower ball joint, which is not in today. All right, time to disassemble the shock. Kind of dangerous, so gotta be careful a little bit. Point at something that you don't care about. It's gonna shoot out. Let's see. Coming is coming. Oh! Woo! That's dangerous. All right, so I got the axle in. We just slide it right in. It pops right in. You just got a little hammer and smack it in, and it's not that hard. And then you guys saw me take the strut out, pop the spring out. You have to get a spring compressor and press it in. I don't have a video on that because honestly, I was too busy doing it and I forgot to film. So, yeah, but it's super easy to put the spring back in. You just gotta slide in, put 3 bolts in. This bolt will slide in pretty easily. You just gotta press down on the lower control arm so have someone step on the spindle while you put the bolt in, and everything goes in. The lower ball joint comes in on Monday, so I gotta wait till a couple days so it comes in, and then we'll finish the rest of the video. All right, so it is my lucky day, and the lower ball joints did come in, so super excited to have to install these today. I finally get the car in the ground so I can see what the lift looks like, or the leveling kit, and see how the car handles with all these new suspension parts. So let's get this piece in. All right, so the thing I learned with lower ball joints, especially from Toyotas, because the IS300 has the same thing, the 4Runners have about the same thing, is to actually put these 4 bolts in first before putting this into the lower control arm. So you're gonna put these 4 bolts in, attach it to the spindle, and then lift the whole spindle and drop it into the lower control arm. Because it's easier to just drop this in than to line up 4 bolts to thread it in, because sometimes it's really hard to get the thread started when it's like slightly crooked. I'll show you guys. All right, you see what I mean? I can put that in, and now I can just carry it and drop it in here and screw in the bolt. So we're gonna just tighten these bolts down real quick, all 4. Then we'll drop the lower ball joint into the spindle right here, or to the lower control arm. All right, look how easy this just goes in. Push it in a little bit more. Drop the jack. And now it's in place. You got a jack up here and put a bolt in. All right, so the car is all done. This is the moment of truth because I got to drop the car. So let's go and walk around. All right, here it is. It's kind of really hard to tell in person, but it is up about 1 inch in the front. So I'm gonna go drive around real quick. And I think the rear is higher because of how much air is in the bags, and there's nothing in the trunk right now. Like I took off the seats and the spare tire and stuff, so it's pretty light, but let's go drive around. All right, you can kind of see the lift now. It's a small little lift in the front. I'd say, yeah, barely 1 inch. The rear, still a bit higher than the front, but that's what I want because I'm gonna be towing. This is mostly a tow rig, so I still want that rake in the front. But overall, I think it looks good. All right, a little bit close up. How do you guys like it? I know it's a lot of work for a small lift, but I'm not trying to go for like a super lifted off-road car. This is a majority daily towing, you know, trips camping here and there, but I like it. Also, the car feels so much better after doing all the suspension. I replaced the lower ball joint, the outer tie rod, and the axle. I think that is it, but so far that made like a huge improvement. There's like no play. The steering feels a little bit stiffer, and it just feels more responsive. So I recommend you, you know, if you need to replace your ball joints, to do them, because it is a maintenance item and it's safety. You know, I've seen online pictures and videos where things break on the road, and I don't want that to happen to me, so I want OEM parts except for the outer tie rod ends. But you know what, right now it feels great, and we're gonna go drive around some more. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you out just a little bit. So see you guys in the next one, and we're going drifting in a few days, so more Ice 300 content coming back. So peace.